Now let's begin the next section, and in this section we will talk about the allergic rhinitis. What's the etiology or causes of allergic rhinitis? What's the pathogenesis? How allergic rhinitis begins and then develop, all that is in the pathogenesis. And then what are the signs and symptoms of allergic rhinitis? In this section, which is our fourth section, we will talk about mainly the what is allergic rhinitis, how it is initiated and developed, and how it presents. So allergic rhinitis is an IgE-mediated immunologic response of nasal mucosa to airborne allergens. So allergens or antigens which are present in the air or environment, when they are inhaled, this can trigger the inflammatory or allergic response that can ultimately lead to allergic rhinitis. So it's an IgE mediated immunoglobulin response, which is that as a result of airborne allergens or antigens. Different types, it can be seasonal, which occur in season. Allergic season is very common when the new trees are pollens are released from the different plants and trees, and then there's the seasonal allergies. People who have seasonal allergy all year around, they are completely normal, no problem. But once the season starts, then they have problems and they can have allergic rhinitis. So seasonal, and then we have perennial. Seasonal in or around a particular season, and the other is throughout the year. Perennial, people who have perennial allergic rhinitis, this is common throughout the year. Etiology, inhalant allergens, which are seasonal allergens, include the pollens from trees. Perennial allergens include the molds, mites, etc. So pollens are mainly for seasonal allergies, and then the molds and mites are for the perennial allergies. Genetic predisposition can also cause allergic rhinitis. If one of the parents is affected, then children have 20% chance of getting allergic rhinitis. If both parents, then it's 47% chance. So one parent is affected, 20% chance, and then if both parents are affected, 47% chance of having allergic rhinitis. The pathogenesis, how it starts and how it progresses. Production of specific IgE antibody. So once the antigen or allergen to which the person is allergic to enters the body, in response to that allergen, IgE antibody is produced. So there is production of IgE antibody. Combination of antigen with IgE antibody adds it Fab. Degranulation of the mast cell. So once they combine at the Fab and antigen and antibody, this causes degranulation of the mast cells. With the degranulation, then there is release of chemical mediators. These chemical mediators cause vasodilation and vasoconstriction. They have different effects on different tissues. They can cause vasodilation, dilation of the blood vessels, and vasoconstriction. Priming effect, usually what occurs, there is non-specific nasal hyperreactivity. So as a result of vasoconstriction, vasodilatation, there is nasal hyperactivity, and this hyperactivity or reactivity cause increased nasal response to stimuli, causing sneezing, rhinorrhoea, and nasal congestion. So that's how this whole process occur, and that's the pathogenesis. So once the allergen enters, IgE antibody is produced. This causes degranulation of mast cells. As a result of this degranulation, different chemicals are released. They have both effects. They can cause dilation of blood vessels and narrowing of the blood vessels. And as a result of this effect, then there is hyperreactivity of nasal mucosa, and this nasal mucosa in turn we can have the sneezing, burning, itching, congestion, all these different changes then occur. Here again, these are the sensitized mast cell. As I mentioned, after the reaction between antigen and antibodies, the mast cells, they become sensitized, they become degranulated. So antigens, they sensitize the mast cell, release of mediators, and usually the mediators, they are already formed in the mast cells pre-form. These include histamine, ECFA, NCFA, heparin, and others, and then the newly synthesized, which include prostaglandins, leukotrienes, PAF, thromboxane, and tumor necrosis factors. So all these are the different mediators. Some are already formed in the mast cells which are released, and some are newly synthesized that can cause all this process and response. So these are preformed and newly synthesized mediators. Again also, then specific allergic stimulus, IgE mediated, usually non-specific stimuli. We have weather changes, emotional stimuli, salicylates, viral infections, and air pollution. So the mediators can be specific, allergic, IgE mediated, and then different environmental factors, air pollution, salicylates, emotional stimuli. These are all the other non-specific stimuli for allergic rhinitis. Mast cell or blood basophils, so they act, different factors act on the mast cells or the basophils. Drop in cyclic AMP GMP ratio. Also, there is release of preformed and newly formed mediators, and this can cause increased permeability, vasodilation, change in smooth muscle tone, and hyperactivity of glands. So different pathogenesis can occur. We mentioned it can be IgE mediated, which is formed as a result of allergens that enter the body. It can also be the direct effect of antigen or allergen on the mast cell, causes release of different mediators, and it can be some due to non-specific factors, changes in the weather. Some people who take the salicylates, they have this problem. Some certain air pollution, dust, and not the clean air chemicals can cause these changes. But the ultimate effect is for whatever is the pathogenesis, the ultimate effect is the same, causes release of mediators, causes vasodilation, vasoconstriction, and then it can cause sneezing, rhinorrhoea, and all these changes can occur as a result. Tissue edema, nasal blockage when there is increased permeability and vasodilation. there is bronchospasm and increased secretions. So different people have different reaction. If it's severe, even asthma, when there is bronchospasm leading to difficulty in breathing and asthma, all these can occur as a result of severe allergic reaction to different allergens. So depending on how severe is the response, the condition can vary from one individual to another. Again, pathogenesis, three phases. Phases we have of allergic rhinitis, early or acute phase, which is within 5 to 30 minutes, very fast response. Some people, when they have allergic response to some drugs or medicines or other things, they can respond very fast, immediate, it's acute or early phase, 5 to 30 minutes, due to specific allergen and release of vasoactive amines. Other is delayed phase, which occur 2 to 8 hours after exposure, usually due to infiltration of inflammatory cells, swelling, etc. So we can have acute or rapid phase and the late phase. This is the Fab end where the antigens come and attach the antibody. So Fab end. These are the mast cells which are released, different chemical mediators. Some are preformed, some are newly synthesized. Now the clinical features, no age or sex predilection, both are affected, all ages can be affected. Especially in young age when it started, usually may start in infant as young as 6 months. So very early, up to 6 months of the infants can also be affected. Onset usually is at 12 to 16 years of age. Symptoms of seasonal allergy: sneezing, nasal obstruction, watery nasal discharge, itching in eyes also, and bronchospasm. These are all the features of seasonal allergies. Symptoms of year-round allergies: frequent colds, stuffy nose, loss of sense of smell, post-nasal drip and chronic cough, and hearing impairment as a result of also blockage of the eustachian tube and pressure on the. So all these are different signs and symptoms of seasonal allergies and perennial allergies which are all year round. Some signs are how the patient, we have nasals, ocular, otologic, pharyngeal and laryngeal signs. So this is all about the presentation and what is allergic rhinitis. And in this slide, we mainly talked about in detail about pathogenesis of the allergic rhinitis. Thank you for watching sqadia.com.